What's up, guys? I know it's been a long time, a month to be exact, since my last video, but I did get a little bit more done. As you can see, I have the 3 tracks going up the curve. I have them done the whole way up to here, and then the one I have done the whole way to the back. I'm going to have to take up 3 pieces of cork here where you can kind of see a dip. I got to shave that down so it's more even. And then there will be the park. And then coming along here, this is where it gets steeper, and you'll come out in this mountain. I have a mountain in the other room I'll show you cut out, or a piece of foam cut out to be the shape of the mountain. And then here's the 3-track main line through the curve, up around the curve and out of sight. Just beyond these tracks will be a double tunnel portal, and that'll take you up to Gallitzin. I have a curve turnout there, and this is about where it's going to go. For now, I just have it sitting in here, but I did get a little bit done on Horseshoe Curve. I haven't done a whole lot on the layout as of late. Then I'll show you the mountain next. Okay, so this is the mountain. Ignore this foam and the weights. This is what we're doing, is we're gluing down this and this little gap so it can sit down in the back of the layout. It can sit down behind the platform, and we can glue it there so it'll sit nice and even. But this is the outline of the mountain, so that's the left side of the curve where the curve turnout's going to be. It goes up steep, and I have a nice even grade for the mountain itself. And it comes back down, and I think I brought it down a little too sharp, so I still have the piece left over. I'll probably glue in here and add a little bit to it. And then what's underneath these is the ledge for the curve. So the curve itself, when it's going up around the mountain, it'll glue right onto this so that it'll create a tunnel, so that the tracks underneath I won't have to do a whole lot with. Like when I go to make my mountain, I have a tunnel protecting those tracks that are underneath in the back. And then this also makes it easy to do the grade, so we can just glue the road or the foam sheet right onto this. So I know that wasn't a real in-depth view of the curve. Here's another view of the curve, so you can see you'll be able to see the trains about there, and if you're over on that wall, you can kind of see them coming up this part of the grade. But there will be a scenic divider about here, just so you can't see those, because I'm going to put a nice building here for the yard. And I moved the signal tower there because I think it's more accurate outside the yard. And if you notice, that you can still see down into the yard through the bay windows. But the curve's looking pretty good now. I just have a lot more work to do. And when you come up here, right around there, you'll go into a double tunnel portal, and those tracks will be squished together. Not squished together, but it's a double tunnel portal to keep it close to the wall, because I have all this area that I have to make a mountain, which is going to be pretty steep. And then you'll come out up here. This is Homosote. I have a sheet of plywood as well, make it nice and sturdy. So you'll come out up here, and then you'll have a curved turnout in the back here that takes you to staging. Another curved turnout here, which will take you over the fridge. The fridge is moving, or the freezer, I should say. And that'll be the coal mine. I want to do something with this double truss bridge. This is not going to stick out like this at all. It's just sitting here right now, and it has not been cut out. Where these tracks are, it'll be cut out to be lined up with them, kind of inside them. So all this will all be open. You'll be able to see this easy. Back under there where that house is, that's basically what I'll do. I'll have like a little village under there with LED lights under. I probably won't do much ballast in the back, just because I'm not going to really see that much, and I'm going to have houses, so I'll start the ballasting probably over here when you get around the corner where you can actually see. I will also have probably a flour and feed mill up here for Crescent, and That way I can do locals to Crescent and back to Altoona. And also, I don't have a video. I won't have a video of it this time just because, as you can see, I have paint cans, metal paint cans sitting on the track. So if I turn the track power on, it'll short out. But I plan on running every train that goes up the curve. If they're diesels, if it's a consist like this, these guys can pull it up super easy. But if steam engines, they need help. They need helpers to get the train up over the curve. On top of that, to make it realistic, there's always helpers. So when I run operations, every single train, except for a local, will have helpers. Helpers will push the train up, and I've tested that, and it works fine. And I also tested taking a engine and attaching it to the end of the train and running the train down, and that helps also because for realism purposes. But the big thing I like is some of these engines, like maybe the steam engine or some of these, even the diesels, just two diesels, pulling a train down the curve, they'll get pushed and you can kind of hear the motor grinding. So when I add a single engine to the end of the train, not only does it look realistic and operate realistic, but it also takes some wear and tear off the engines, and it works really good. I have a lot of speed matching to do, but I plan on speed matching everything pretty similar so that there's certain speed steps where everything works. I think my speed limit through the curve is going to be, I want to do like 25 mile per hour. So whatever speed step gets me 25 mile per hour, every single engine will be synced up so that at least 25 mile per hour will work. Obviously, some things like sound decoders versus these, which are non-sound decoders, are really hard to sync up. But um, that's what I have for the curve, and the way it's going to operate will work really good too. Another thing, as you can see, I'm starting to take up ground throws. I'm getting rid of ground throws in the yard. Um, there's no way I'll be able to describe this very accurately, but this switch here, this is now a hand throw, and it works great. I got the idea from DG Modelworks on, I'm sure some of you have seen it. I'll have to put a link in the description below, linking it to his video where he shows how to make these. Basically, this is drilled out through here. You have a piece of wire that goes up and then it bends. You can see where it bends here and here. And basically it's kind of like spring loaded. So right now it's putting tension on this rail, holding it tight. And then when you do it the other way, it does the same thing. It took a few tries, but it works pretty well. And what this will allow me to do is, if you notice, my switches, they have the ground throw. Oh, I already took this one out. They have the ground throw here, so I can't sneak any track or anything by here. But now, taking this out, I can. So I'm gonna also squeeze down the yard. So I'm gonna redo the yard for, I think, a second time or a third time, and that'll allow me to take all these switches and pull them down half a foot, maybe even a foot, because now I don't have the signal tower there. And these tracks will be probably a quarter inch, if not like 3/8 of an inch closer together, make it more realistic. And I also want to make a eastbound westbound yard. Right now I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks. So tracks 2, 4, and 6 are even, so they're headed east. 3, 5, and 7 are west, or are odd, so they're headed west. That was all right to play around with, but really what I should be doing is the first 3 tracks are, the westbound yard, and the next 3 are eastbound yard. And that's probably what I'll do. I'll either have 2 sets of 3, so I'd have 3 tracks together, or I might keep 2, 2, and 2, and just have the first 3 be, eastbound, and the next 3 westbound. But that's where I'm at right now. It's not really a very long video, and I probably did not describe things well as usual, but this is about where I'm leaving off. So I hope to have continuous run as an option by next weekend, not the weekend in like 4 or 5 days, but the weekend in about 11 or 12 days. So you'll be able to run a train from the Tyrone loop around the wall. And that's what I was talking about when I was talking about the mountain, how we built a shelf so that this could sit on that. And now there's kind of a tunnel, so I don't have to really protect the track as much. I am going to have to do something in the back, which is going to be a bit of a pain. Anyways, you can come along here, come through here, or go in the yard and build something up. Go through here, go underneath the curve, come around, go up through the curve, through here, through a double tunnel portal. About there will be the two single tunnel portals for Gallitzin, and you loop back and you can go back. And that should take about, I think 4 or 5 minutes just to go from Tyrone to Gallitzin. So if you wanted to start in Tyrone, go around the whole layout and get back to Tyrone, it would actually take 8 minutes. So it's nice and long. But the next project is obviously finishing the curve, but I have to glue that, and I can only glue stuff one at a time. So it's really going to be the yard. The yard's the next thing I'm going to work on and get these done, because these are so nice. Now I can fit more tracks in. But that's it for this video.